Hey y'all, Rowan here. Every time I do that, I shake the camera because my arms are on the table and wobbledy wobbledy wobble. Do y'all see that? Shake, shake, shake. This table setup is a little bit ridiculous. How are you today? I hope you've had a good day so far. My day was not good necessarily. I didn't have very many clients at work, and due to things, I ended up being very late picking up one of my clients because I thought they were going to be the next hour, but they literally just came in an hour early. And anyway, no big deal, not the end of the world. But they did not tip me, and maybe rightfully so. So, you know, financially, with only a few clients and one of them not leaving a tip, I did not do so hot today, but you know, some days are slow, and the slow days make up for the very, very good business days I had had before that. So quite frankly, I was due, but yeah, today wasn't great. The rest of the week was pretty good, work-wise, but today was not great. I have gone... You know what? Let me not get ahead of myself. Let's first say hello. This is I am going over my August. This is my August recap video. Welcome to August in September. I have my little notes over here, but they're underneath my laptop for some reason. Oh goodness, my cutting mat. Slide those out. Yay, notes. Don't peek. Don't peek. You're gonna spoil the video. Good gracious. Now that you've spoiled it for yourself, we're going to start at the top. I have been, you know, struggling to entertain myself. If you've been watching my videos regularly, you may be aware that I am living on my own for the first time in my life. My husband and I are living separately for a variety of reasons, and it is a change. It's weird. It's quiet. It's very quiet. I think that's the best word for it. But I don't dislike that, actually. I love my husband dearly, and I value the time that I get to spend with him in the time that we now have with his very, very overwhelming school schedule. So it's not that I'm glad to be rid of him. It is that I am happy to be on my own in ways that I sort of expected but did not properly anticipate, I guess, because it kind of rules to have the place to myself. And we may continue to do this for the duration of our marriage. Like, we originally got into this because of it being convenient. School stuff, don't want to get into it. Personal stuff, don't want to get into it. But the long and short of it is, it made sense for us for a short period of time, but it's actually possibly going to make sense for us for a long period of time. So, you know, a thing to consider. So I am loving having a lot of me time. I've been doing a lot of decorating in my apartment, and it's super cute. I will be giving an updated apartment tour. I don't think I'm going to stick it at the end of this video. I think I'll probably do it as like a short vlog type video maybe. But I've been doing a lot of painting, collaging, writing, not so much on the writing, a little bit of writing, but mostly painting and collaging. Okay, so let me show you some of the pieces that I'm like really happy with, or rather some random pieces. One I'm really happy with, and some random pieces. This one I'm gonna give to my mother. It's got stickies. I don't know how well you can see through the texture on camera. But it's very purple, and she's gonna like that. Even if she doesn't hang it up, she's just gonna put it in a box and look at it every now and again and go, "Oh, my child made this for me." That's not how my mother talks. This one was just some freestyle watercolor that went somewhere that I'm really happy with. Liked that one. This one I'm probably going to give to a friend of mine because I showed it to them and they said they really liked it. I was going to sell it, but I think I'm going to give it. And when I say sell it, I mean for like $5. I don't think this is worth much, but I would like to recoup some art supplies cost, you know. This one I'm really happy with. This one I'm going to keep and probably put on my wall at some point. This one rules. I like this one a lot. And this one is itty bitty, and I don't know how. Oh, you can see the details surprisingly well on camera. Fabulous. It's quite small. I call this one Feeding Lion. I couldn't remember if it was Feeding Lion or Lion Feeding, but Feeding Lion. Yeah, so those are some of the pieces that I have made in the past month. I have a whole folder full of the rest of them. Some of them are big, many of them are very, very small. But I have been on my painting game. Not that any of it's great. The collaging is pretty good. The painting is not great, but that's okay because I've been having fun and learning acrylic. It's a blast. I love acrylic. It's so much easier than watercolor, I have to say. And then I would like to also talk about some, because there's a transition there. I picked up, so we're going to get into books a little bit later on, but first I just want to sneak preview this book that I picked up at my local rare bookstore. This is out of print, and it's like an instruction guide for like some basic textural and material things that has, I'm only a little bit of a ways through it. By the way, in case you're listening and not watching, this is called Creative Paint Workshop for Mixed Media Artists by Anne Baldwin, with a subtitle, Experimental Techniques for Composition, Layering, Texture, Imagery, and Encaustic. So it's really cool. It's got spiral binding, so it lays flat, so that it's like super convenient to read and look through. I'm really enjoying it so far, and I have learned a little bit. I haven't gotten very far, so I can't say I've learned a lot. I also this month, no, not books yet. We're not to books yet. I got my other nostril re-pierced. I had gotten both nostrils pierced originally a couple months ago, like actually I think in May, and things happened, or was it March? No, it had to have been May. It was in May. And due to a variety of humorous circumstance, one of my piercings fell out, and then I wasn't able to get it back in before it closed up. It closed up very quickly. I'm talking minutes. It closed up within minutes. So I had to wait and get it re-pierced. They did re-pierce it for free, so I really appreciate that. They did not have to do that, and it is a great financial relief. And so I did get it done again. However, my first piercing is very angry with me right now because I got the post shortened, which is like, the post is the piercing part. It's the metal stabby bit that goes into the piercing. And mine, like when you first get it done, it's long to account for the swelling. Like beginner earrings are bigger to account for the swelling. And then, you can wear shorter ones later on as the swelling goes down. And in the case of a facial piercing, that can take months or even a year. So, they told me that I could get a shorter post after like 4 months, and I was a little bit too quick to it, so I think I'm going to go back and have them put the long post back in. It's only like $15 plus tip, so no biggie. And that's probably them overcharging me, and I don't care. I don't care because I go to one of the large, like well-known, well-established places, because I am not willing to risk infection with my job. Any kind of, like, I have to go to a place that is renowned for sanitation, because I could easily pass things on to my clients as an esthetician. So got to be super careful with stuff like that. So I will go to a place that overcharges if I know that they're super clean. Anyway, I actually don't know that they're overcharging. $15 to replace a post could be industry standard. I don't fucking know. This is my first time getting body mods. So, except for when I was 13 and my mother got my ears pierced. That doesn't really count because I did not choose that solely. My mother suggested it, and I said, yeah, sure, why not? Anyway, that was cute. The camera cut me off at the same time that I cut myself off. Precious. Anyways, moving on. I'm going to not talk about my spell work this month. It was very private. It wasn't really anything with a goal in mind, but there was a lot of ecstatic ritual, and obviously the result was a whole lot of creation. So just very private stuff that I don't want to get into, mostly because of its ecstatic nature. I did do a lot of and this is a journey that I am still very thoroughly on, and I have been on it since I did a self-transformation spell back in, I believe, February, around the time I started this channel. I am on a journey of self-betterment that has been very harsh, and I am not necessarily doing great at it, but damn it, I'm trying every day, and I give myself credit for that, baby. We show up, we do our best, and we hope that tomorrow our best is better than today, but progress is not linear, nor is healing. So been doing a lot of self stuff, and so I don't necessarily want to go into too much detail about what that craft work looks like. I will say that I have we're moving on past the craft work stuff. When I don't know why I said it like we were transitioning into something about that. We're not. We're talking about something else now. This guy right here, and well, come here, sweeties. These two pieces right here, I have brought into my life this month. These are both calcite. This is honey calcite, and this is blue calcite. I fucking love how waxy they are. Oh, mwah. And then this is a stunning piece of tourmaline that I believe has I think that's just tourmalated quartz that's feathered throughout it, but it is so fucking stunning. And I only paid like $7 for it. I'm so pleased. There is a place that near me. Oh, look, it left a little glitter surprise for me. That is one thing about it. It's constantly shedding. There's a place sort of near me that occasionally has amazing deals on stones. So I think each of these was less than $10. I think they were $7 each, possibly $7 and $9, but I want to say $7 each. So yeah, really reasonably priced, very large, pretty stones. Those sit on my TV media stand with I have a card display, like an altar space, like a card altar display space, and those sit on either side of that on my TV stand. My husband makes fun of me because it blocks the subtitles when I watch things on TV. So I put the card down when he's over. Books. We can finally talk about books now. Hell yes. Hell yes. Okay. So the collage book I already showed you. And then there is this, which I don't know if I actually got this month or last month, but I don't think I talked about it last month. But this is the Ultimate Book of Shadows for the New Generation of Solitary Witch by Silver Ravenwolf. I'm not going to get into what is or is not problematic about Silver Ravenwolf. Honestly, I don't care. She's still a staple in the community, and I think that there are valuable things that you can learn from someone without necessarily agreeing with all aspects of them. I mean, feel free to educate me, but please do it politely so that I can learn and make my own decisions instead of you telling me what to think about her. Because, I know Scott Cunningham's not perfect either. He's, parading around the title shaman when I don't know where he got that from. But whatever. I'm not going to sit here and police a previous generation of witches for the way they practice the craft. I was not alive when they were. I do not know how they have come about these opinions, and it's not my job to tell them how to live their lives. Maybe I shouldn't give them my coin. That's a fair argument. And it's not one that I'm going to address right now. I don't know why I went on this tirade, other than that I've had a glass of wine already. Anyway, I'm sorry. This video is going to be really long, so thank you for sitting through it if you do, because I'm like not saying anything intelligent. This is literally prattling if I've ever heard it. Anyways, I have not really gotten into this. I am going to, at some point, flip through it. Mostly I got it to learn about, like, how people other than myself cast spells. I don't really do other people's spells. I just like to study them for, like, inspiration mostly. Like, the way somebody else crafts a spell doesn't tell me that I should do those things, but it can show me what things I can do with what I have, if that makes sense. I don't know. Anyway. I also got, this one's a fiction book that I plan on reading and have started already. I'm not super far into it. I literally started it last night. I'm on page 21. But The London Seance Society by Sarah Penner. It is already precious. It is a murder mystery. It is a ghost story. It is a love story, sort of, but not really. Or at least that's what the back insinuates, sort of, but not really. I don't know. I haven't gotten that far in it. I'm on page 21. This is currently my to-read basket, including this. Whoop! Including this. Poor phone, which is the camera. So I have many things to absorb. Barbara Kingsolver, The Body Keeps the Score, several different tarot books, and these are not even all of my tarot books. These are just the ones I've already started. And that does not include all of the books that are on my Kindle that I have started and have not finished. I'm not DNFing them, I'm just getting distracted, which is something I'm very good at. And now, finally, we can talk about tarot decks. So, let me start by saying that I got into a new tarot journal this month. My last one finally, reached its end. I caught up. Oh, shit. I mean, that's not really my name. Those are initials. Whatever. You can know my initials. That's not the end of the world. And they're not even my legal initials either. Haha! Good for y'all. This is a made-up name through and through, baby. I don't know why I'm so precious about my identity. It's not like it fucking matters. Eventually, I plan to fully integrate all aspects of my online media presence. It's just right now I'm a coward and I don't want to do it. Because, like, that requires a lot of honesty that I'm not willing to put out to strangers at this point in my life. But I do think that that kind of honesty is to be admired. It's just that I'm a coward, like I said. Anyways, this is my August spread. I've actually decided to start doing monthly pages like this. This is my card from my year draw. Went back in January when I did my year in advance tarot reading, I guess, like a card for every month, whatever. This was the card that was for August. And then this month, I got these 3 oracle cards, and these are the 3 oracle decks I'm going to use for the foreseeable future. I think I might switch up the archetypes deck, but probably not. I don't know, maybe eventually I'll take my deck out of it, but I doubt it. But this is a card from Mixed Metaphor, Mixed Media, which is my deck that I made. This is a card from the Archaeo, which I featured in I think I vaguely mentioned it in a couple of videos so far. I featured it in that it has been in the videos. It has not been the subject of a video. This is the Archetypes, Wild Unknown Archetypes by Kim Kranz, of course. So I'm probably going to continue to use these 3 decks for hopefully the rest of the year if I can stick with it. because this is just such a perfect deck. The Wild Unknown Archetypes, it's just a flawless 10 of 10 kind of deck for me, especially in the mini version, because you can actually fucking shuffle the damn thing. The Archaeo, this is the only way I can work with it, and I want to get to know it. Well, I say the only way I can work with it. This is the good way, I think, for me to work with it personally. So I got the Green Man card, which inspired me to spend some time getting in touch with like different aspects of my wild side and of spending more time with my plants. I did not tap into the potential of this energy nearly as much as I could have, but I did try to work with it. I definitely got into the energy of the oil acrylic card. We've already talked about that. So this one was fulfilled. And then the vow, I've spent a lot of energy as well on aspects of my relationship with my husband. So despite the fact that we're living separately, in a way, I still have to prioritize him, of course. So that's still there. But more importantly, this month I was putting energy into vows that I had made myself. So living up to promises that I made myself about what I'm going to do and trying to be more responsible. This is an example of what my tarot journal looks like when I don't actually write on the pages. I have a couple pages here that I need to go back and write about. I just haven't. As you can see, this month I did not spend a lot of time in my tarot journal. There's not much there. That's because I just haven't wanted to be reading cards. I've been playing with cards, but not reading them necessarily. I have done a couple readings for friends, but that's about it. I have been spending a lot of time with friends, so that's probably a big aspect of it too. I haven't been wanting to read. I've been wanting to create. I haven't been reading books nearly as much. Hold on, I'm thirsty. That's why my to read basket is overflowing. Anyways, decks that I want to talk about beyond just my tarot journal. This month I did not do great on the not buying. I still obtained 5 different decks. So that's not great. I don't love that for me. These I'm okay with. That's 1 deck a week. And while that's not good, that is better than it's been. 5 just throws off the whole balance entirely, and I don't even like this deck very much. I regret having purchased it, and I would return it, except I already did a bonding exercise modding this deck, and it still didn't work for me, so that was a gamble that I took, and now I have to live with it. But it's got a beefy guidebook, so I'm going to get into that eventually, but as you saw, my to-read basket's huge. So this first deck that I regret the most, that I actually regret. This is the first one that I bought this month, right at the top of the month, because I was feeling sad about the new living situation and missing my husband and needed to entertain myself so as to not spiral. And I went out and impulse bought this. This is the Da Vinci Enigma Tarot, and I don't like it. The backs are all different. They don't match. I edged it in silver and it did not go well, so I regret that. And the card faces are not uniform in sizing at all. So that drives me crazy. They've also changed the suits and the majors. Some of them are the same, but fucking imagination instead of strength. What the fuck is that? I don't get it. Magician is still there, but I do regret having the keywords too. I'm not a huge fan of the keywords that are on the bottoms. Some of them are fine, some of them are not. Some of them are basic, some of them minimize the card. So I do regret this deck, and it is definitely a stain on my purchasing history. I'm not going to get rid of it. I'm going to continue to try to bond with it, and maybe eventually I'll pass it on to somebody, but my mod basically fucked up the way it looks, in my opinion. It's not something I would want to give to somebody else. I do regret having edged it in silver, but what's done is done, and I didn't like the deck anyway, so it's not really that big of a deal. Maybe one day I'll give it to a resale shop or something, but I doubt they'll want it. Anyway, Some other decks that I got, the next deck that I obtained, and this one was another I need to buy something right now, but it was a planned I need to buy something right now. This was a purchase that I set aside. Let me get this out of the way. This was a purchase that I told myself I was going to make, and I was just putting it off until I wanted to buy something that desperately. This is the Good Fortune Tarot by Jessica Rue and Barbara Moore. This deck, these are the backs, has been edged in one of my favorite colors. I've talked about this one before on another video that I made right before this one. Let me let you see the cards actually. I did not think that I would like this deck because it's basically a Rider-Waite-Smith clone. No, it's not. Some of these cards, let me find the Judgment card. Some of these cards are just so incredible with the way they interpret the meaning in artistic form. Like, I actually really fucking love this deck. It's really storybook in its design, and I thought that was going to be a hindrance, but turns out I love that aspect of it. I'm learning that the things that I think that I will like are not always the things that I like, which is not a surprise at all to find when you're nearly 30 years old. But this Judgment card made me sob the first time I saw it in the deck. This man has both feet already in the grave. He has not been in the grave yet. There's not a coffin there. He has not laid. He is not rotting. He is not getting out of the grave. He is simply realizing he does not yet have to get in it because he has a purpose. And seeing this card and seeing that interpretation of Judgment, not as somebody rising out of the grave, but as somebody rejecting the grave in the first place. As somebody who struggles with suicidal ideation, it just immediately moved me to tears. As soon as I got what it was saying, I just started bawling. So, fucking love this card, fucking love this deck. It's a hug, and it's the news that's really difficult to hear, but you need to hear it. It like also the guidebook also like gives you, here's how you work with it if this is your situation kind of energy. So even when the cards are like, yeah, shit sucks right now, but here's what you can do about it. You can change your perspective, you can take action in small ways, and you can whatever. Like, it spells it out for you in very abstract ways that are easy to apply to your situation if you just like know a thing or two about tarot or think for a moment or two. It also incorporates elements of Kabbalah as well as a lot of elements of Marseille. So while it doesn't get heavy into the Kabbalah, it does talk about some of the Kabbalistic associations that are in the tarot, such as but not limited to the Tree of Life. So it's really, really well made, and it's something like I said it in my other video that I will link below, but it's very much so a perfect second deck. If you've got one deck that like teaches you the basics really well and you want to dig in for more, but you need something that's still comfortable, the Good Fortune Tarot is fabulous for that. It's going to give you more tools to have a deeper understanding, but it's not going to expect you to need your hand held the entire time, if that makes sense. It's a hug, but it's not a handhold. So really been enjoying that deck and the guidebook. Then I bought all three of these decks from Oriflamme Times shop. This is not the bag that this deck is going to live in. This is a stopgap bag. As you can see, it's not very well constructed. So this is a temporary bag that I made a long time ago that is just currently housing the Aquamarine Tarot. And then I have the Memento Mori Oracle and Lenormand, or Lenormand and Oracle, I should say. And finally, in this last bag here that has the serial killer truck from Maine, Washington. Maine's not in Washington. Maine is a state on it, all on its own. I meant Derry, Maine. There we go. We have the Horror Tarot. I guess I'm starting with the Horror Tarot, right? So I have edged this one in neon green to match the backs. I thought about edging it in red, but I thought that would be a little bit too Christmassy, sing-songy, ho ho ho, so I did not do that. This deck I bought because I have long been craving this artist's other deck that they have that's from their same publishing company. It's the Pulp Tarot. And the Pulp Tarot is my brother-in-law's soul deck, so I did not want to encroach upon that relationship. If he had gifted me the deck, or if he ever gifts me the deck, that'll be different, but I don't want to, he loves that deck so much that I don't want to step on any sort of toes. I know he literally would not mind, but this is just a thing for me. I don't know, it feels right to me. So instead, I got the Horror Tarot, which still tickles my pickle pretty thoroughly. I only wish that the cup suit had subtitles. Like this one's not. This one's a better example. So, like, they're covers of books in the cup suit, and this one does not have any text other than Horror Tarot and the title. I wish that there were a pulpy tagline, because you could totally get away with that on a pulp novel. I mean, regular novels have things on the cover other than the title, New York Times bestseller, name, and then thing underneath. They totally could have fit something there. That's all I'm saying. I know that obviously these are no New York Times bestsellers, but that's not what it would say anyway, so it doesn't matter. Scratching my nose. I'm sorry. Scratching my nose. I'm sorry. Scratching my nose. Ah. Oh, I promise that was literally just me scratching my nose. Okay, it's the piercings, I'm telling you. Oh God, thank you for hanging out if you're here. This video, I would not want to watch all of this video. This is not me at my best. Let's talk about Memento Mori. This has also been edged already. That's something I like to do right when I get my decks now. So if I'm going to edge it, I try to make that decision pretty quickly. This one, I did a distressed ink edging, so it looks old and worn, which matches the backs and the fronts. So I'm very happy with how it turned out. Not happy with how it smells, but distressed ink does not smell great, and that's just that. I have not really worked with this deck, so I cannot say much about it. I have done maybe 2 readings with it, and both of them were get-to-know-you readings with me in the deck, and I would not say that it has been substantial insofar. What I bought this deck for is specifically doing ancestor work, or doing, like, occasionally I have people who, like, I try to assist with mediumship readings. I don't know how well I actually do at it. It seems to resonate for them, but I'm not, look, I'm reading the cards. I'm not claiming to channel anything. I'm just reading the cards. I'm inviting certain energies to speak, and I'm hoping that I'm getting the right ones. And so far, the few that I've done have seemed successful based on my querence, so I'm going to trust them and say that so far so good, but I've literally only done like 2, I think, 3 maybe. I can't remember right now. Anyway, Aquamarine Tarot is the other one that I got. Oh, and I do pair this one with the Antique Anatomy. I can't help it. What am I supposed to do? Not? So yeah. Aquamarine Tarot. This one I have done some readings with. I really love it. I have thought about edging it in neon orange, but I think I've been convinced not to. I've certainly been convinced not to trim it, at least at this time. Maybe someday in the future I will change my mind, but these cards are pretty glossy. Sorry about that. It's not my fault. Why am I apologizing? Sorry about the glare, I guess. But I am going to keep this deck as it is for now. Mostly so it still fits in its box, which I am going to make a bag for because it's a tuck box, and I make bags for all of my tuck boxes because tuck boxes need support and safety too. They are weak. They are pitiful. This deck is really pretty. I like it a lot. I've done a couple readings with it. It really resonates. That's all I have to say about it so far. And with that, that basically concludes this video. Thank you so much for hanging out with me and listening to me ramble. We're probably at like 40 some odd minutes here, if not more. Maybe we're only at 30 minutes. Who knows? Maybe I got through this faster than I think, but I'm pretty sure I rambled at the beginning for an embarrassingly long amount of time, especially. I have been doing a lot of work with the decks that I mentioned in my previous video, so I'm not going to repeat myself here. I'm just going to link that below. And then I am going to make a video coming up doing the Tarot Meet Collection tag. I just have not quite decided which of my many nonsense collections I like stuff I am going to talk about. So I'm trying to figure out, because at first I didn't think I was going to do it at all because I don't collect anything traditionally, but I have a lot of silly little collections that I could do. Maybe I'll talk about my CD collection. Maybe I'll talk about my brand new vinyl collection. Maybe I'll talk about my art supplies collection. Maybe I will talk about my art collection. Maybe I will talk about my incense collection. That's a small one that I could make. I don't know, man. There's options out there. There's options. I hope y'all have... Sapling Tarot did an eyeshadow collection video, eyeshadow palette collection video, and they beat me to that idea. I was thinking about doing an eyeshadow singles video, but they totally beat me to it. I may still do the eyeshadow singles because that would be really pretty and fun to do, but it would also be messy, so maybe not. I don't want to get glitter all over my decks, and those eyeshadow singles, a lot of them have a lot of mica in them. Anyways, thanks for hanging out. Please like this video if you liked it. I wish I had said that sooner so that all the people who clicked off out of boredom got reminded to at least throw me a thumbs up as an apology for not being able to make it, which, hey, if you can't make it, that's fine. I'm not everybody's cup of tea. More importantly, not everybody has this long to spend in any one sitting. So a lot of times I go back and watch the rest of videos later. So I anticipate some of y'all probably do that too. So no harm, no foul. I appreciate you if and when you finally make it to the end of this, and I appreciate you even if you don't. If you never hear me say this, know that I appreciate you anyways. You won't know it because you didn't hear me say it, but it's there. It's in the universe now. It's true. So subscribe, comment, watch more of my videos, and eat vegetables. I love you. Bye.